when you type into Google, or when a consumer or a user types into Google, there's two ways of having your results visible. One is to do search engine optimization, to be found and to be relevant on Google and to get clicks for free. And there's a whole science to that. The second way is to try and get one of these sponsored links at the top or down the right-hand side. And to do that, you basically pick the keywords that you want to serve an ad against, you make a bid, you decide what landing page you want to take people to, etc. And it's a bit of an auction. So a combination of the quality of your site, the relevance of your keywords, and the bid that you make will affect where you go in the auction. So two ways to get on Google. It's also the only way to appear twice is to appear in natural and paid at the same time, which if you do that properly, you can capture about 90% of the clicks. Amazon is a great example of agility and flexibility. At any one time, they have between 25 and 50 tests running on their site. Now, we won't see the tests. All we'll see is what Amazon shows us. But they're always saying, well, what's the best way to have menus on my site? What's the best thing to serve up when I give you search results? What's the best thing to cross-sell? What's the best way to do checkout? And all they'll do is they say, well, let's put 5% of people, let's show them this image. Let's show 50% that image, 1% that image. Let's take them through this journey, that journey on the website, etc. So they'll be playing with different options, different images, different layouts, different font, etc. And they're just playing and playing and playing. And even though Amazon get hundreds of millions of visitors, which often brings your conversion rate down because you have so many visitors that there are more browsers, their conversion rate is about 4 times the average. So this is an example using Comscore data of conversion rates, and this is of apparel retailers, so people who sell clothes. The average conversion rate is about 5%, so slightly better than the 3.5% average in all categories. But Debenhams has a 2% conversion rate, Next has 9%. What's the best way to display shoes? You type in men's shoe. Should we do that picture with an aspirational male model there? Should we do this picture with the big funky pictures? Should we give a better range? It was actually B. And it got about 6% better sales. Now that's just one small change. Most websites have at least 5, but normally 10 to 15 opportunities to make a change. They have a site search. Lots of companies have site search. You're on the site and you do a product search to try and find what you want. A typical retail site, about 50% of people do a search. It does vary, so books and CDs it's about 90%, some things it's less. Next was about 50%. And they had a search algorithm. They had a very bad search engine in general, but they had an algorithm that said, let's show a mixture of relevant results and profitable results. So when you type in boys' socks, you got no boys' socks because they weren't very profitable. It all went horribly wrong, and actually you got loads of shoes. So people would exit, obviously. They say, Next doesn't sell boys' socks, I'll leave the site. When actually Next do sell boys' socks, they just weren't showing them in the search results. So we discovered this by looking at their Google Analytics data, etc. And we said, okay, changing the search engine for them was expensive. They've got, I don't know if they need to pay as much, but they had to pay something like £1.5 million to change their site search, which is obviously a big deal even for Next. So they said, well, is it worth it? What's it worth? Well, it's very easy. We did a test. We said, when people search for boys' socks, instead of letting them get the results, let's just create a mock-up page and show it to the user. The user doesn't know it's not a search result. They don't know it's an image. But what that basically does is helps us understand what's the impact on conversion, what's the impact on sales, etc. And what we found is where 80% of people used to exit the moment they got those results because they didn't like the results, that went down to 60%. So effectively, instead of 20% going on to purchase, 40% went on to think about purchasing. The overall impact, because obviously not all results are as bad as that, the overall impact of changing their search engine we estimated at plus 4%.